Hi everyone, my name is Kari Woodall and I'm a YBell Master Trainer. I'm sure like many of you, I'm busy and I struggle to find time even as a trainer to fit my workouts in. So today I'm going to take you through a short, full body, beginner-based workout. So if you're new to the YBell or if you're out of a routine and trying to get back into a routine, this is a great starting place. But don't be fooled, it's kind of sneaky hard. I'm going to take you through one round, but feel free to do more rounds if you want. You can just rewind the video. Every exercise of the 5 we are going to do today is 8 reps. Now that doesn't include the warm-up and the cool-down. So, a couple things to know. You need just one YBell. You might want a yoga mat because we'll be kneeling. And I'm going to show you 3 grips that we'll be using today with the YBell. And the cool thing about the YBell is there are multiple grip options. So it's a really versatile tool because it mimics a medicine ball, a dumbbell, and even a kettlebell. We have what's called a double grip, where you'll be holding 2 of the grips, 2 of the handles. A center grip, which is right in the middle. And the top grip, which is holding the top. That's pretty self-explanatory. So you can put your YBell down for now. Our first 3 exercises in the warm-up are just body weight. And we're going to start out with a body weight jump rope just to get our blood flowing. So just nice and easy, side to side. We've got 30 seconds here. Can feel free to just move your arms if you want. Breathe. Bring a little life into your breath. You might even want to do some shoulder rolls. Back and front, and start to get excited about your workout. We've got about 5 seconds left here. And we'll go into a torso rotation. So turn one way and release your back heel. And then as you pivot, turn the other way, release that heel. Stack your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips, and hips over your knees, center of your knees. Staying tall throughout this. You might even want to start to let your arms flow a little bit. And instead of letting your hips keep going, stabilize through your hips, squeeze your glutes, that's your booty, and try and stop your hips. And you can let your upper body go just a little bit more. Now remember this pivoting action. We're going to do this again later in the workout. You've got one more rep here. All right, inchworm to a runner's lunge and a twist. This looks sort of like a sun salutation to begin. So here's what this exercise looks like, and then I'll take you through the rest of the reps. You can just watch this one. We'll walk out into a runner's lunge, and then we're going to do some circles with our arms. All right, so stand, reach up. You might want to be on your yoga mat. Take a big breath in. Hinge your hips, exhale, fold forward. Walk your hands out to a push-up position or a plank. And stay right here in this plank for a breath or 2. Spread your fingers wide on the floor. Push the floor away and be really active into the floor. Squeeze your armpits, kind of like you have oranges underneath your armpits and you're trying to make orange juice. I know that sounds enticing right now. Brace your body as if you have a friend or maybe even your pet. My dog likes to do this while I'm doing a plank, kind of trying to nudge up against you from either side and you're not letting that friend or pet move you. Same thing, they're trying to nudge your shoulders and push you back and you're not letting them. And then they're trying to push your feet and you're not letting them. So you're really just bracing your whole body here. Take another breath. Step your right foot outside your right hand for a runner's lunge. Twist, reach your right arm up to the sky. Take a breath in. Reach your right arm back towards your foot, down towards the floor, and forward. Reach it up to the sky, back, down, and forward. Now we'll reverse it. Reach up, forward, down, and back. And you may even want to follow with your head. Reach up, forward, down, back, and back up. Plant your hand inside your foot, step back to plank, walk your hands back to your feet. We have one more of those with the other leg. Take a big breath in, come all the way up. Exhale and fold over your legs. This is a hip hinge. Walk your hands out into a push-up position. And we'll just take a couple breaths for reals this time here. Press the floor away, squeeze your armpits like you have oranges underneath, and brace so no one or thing can move you side to side. Take another breath in. Step your left foot outside your left hand for a runner's lunge. Twist towards the sky, left arm up. Push the floor away actively with your right hand. Reach your left hand back, down, forward, and up. One more. Back, down, forward, and up. And we'll reverse it now. Forward, down, back, and up. Last one. We're just trying to bring a little easy mobility into the shoulders. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Walk your feet up to your hands this time. Kind of tricky. Did I trick you? Soft knees, come all the way up, reach up. Take a big breath. And now it's time to grab our YBell. Shake out your wrists a little bit. So this is the last exercise in your warm-up. This is just a hinge to a squat. We'll use the double grip here. So whatever weight YBell you've got, I've got the extra small, which is 10.5 pounds and 4.5 kilograms. All right, you don't need a really heavy YBell for this workout. Elbows down by your side, hands down, feet on train tracks, about hip width apart. Hinge your hips, so slide the YBell down your thighs towards your knees. And like you're stomping into the ground with both feet, stand up and stack your shoulders over your hips. Pull the YBell up towards your chest or your sternum, hinge your hips, squat down, and that's one rep. We've got 7 more of those combinations. Push your hips back, slide the YBell down in between your knees, stomp into the floor to stand up. Align ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles, just like we did in warm-up. Bring the YBell towards your sternum. Squeeze your elbows in and squat down. 6 more. Hinge, stack your shoulders over your hips, and then squat. Hinge, lift the YBell, squat. Stay tall through your spine on the squat. Hinge, stomp into the ground to stand up, squat. Tear the floor apart between your feet as you stand up. And I think we've got 3 more. You better hope I don't lose count throughout our workout. 2 more. Hinge, squat. And last one. This time we're going to hold the squat. So squat down, grip the YBell, take your elbows inside your knees, and kind of scrub your hips side to side here. So keeping your heels on the floor. Pull your shoulder blades down the middle of your back and squeeze them together. Now as I stand up, create a little tension between your feet. And you should feel that in your outer hip. All right. If you need a drink, get a drink. And we're going to go into the rest of our workout now. So 5 exercises, and I've arranged them a little differently. And we have a right side and a left side on many of these. Okay. First exercise, you will use the double grip, and it's a tall kneeling figure 8. So if you have a yoga mat, get your yoga mat. You might want to double it up for this first exercise. So this is a core exercise, and it's a lot of shoulders as well. The YBell is sort of like a tail wagging a dog. When my dog gets really excited, her tail does this, and her whole body does this. So this, we don't want the tail to wag the dog. So I want to keep the center of my body really quiet and still while I'm moving in a figure 8 pattern. Now, you can reverse directions. You can make this a horizontal figure 8, whatever you want. All right? We have 8 figure 8s. And just like I said before, from your ears, shoulders, hips to knees, I want to be able to trace a straight line all the way down. And even though I'm not on my hands in a plank, you can think of this as a plank, and you're just as active not moving around side to side. So if somebody were to come up and nudge you, they wouldn't be able to move you. All right, so here we go. The closer the YBell is to your body on your figure 8, the easier it is. The bigger your figure eight is, so I've done one, and you can join in with me here. The bigger your figure eight is, the harder it is. And the further away from your body the YBell is, the harder it is. So we're gonna call that 2, because I'm gonna demo a rep first for you on everything, and then you can join in with me afterwards. That's 3. Stay tall, and kind of think of tearing the ground apart with your knees, creating tension all the way up your body. Grip the YBell really strongly. That's 5. And you'll notice when you grip it hard, it feeds stability and strength through your body. I think we have one more. Okay. Roll out your shoulders and your neck. We have an offset stance row. So stand up. And I'm going to use the center grip on this exercise now. Center grip, take your right hand in the YBell, left foot forward, right foot back. And my feet are on train tracks. This is very similar to the hinge that we did in warm up, but now we're in an offset stance hinge with a row. Make a fist with your left hand, squeeze your armpits, and try and grab the YBell and crush the YBell as hard as you can. And notice you feel that zip up your arm and even down your side. Push your hips back, keep your chest broad. Here's what the rep looks like. You're gonna bend both elbows and then stomp into the ground and stand up in between every rep. All right, so it's an offset stance row, really with a single or an offset stance hip hinge as well, okay? All right, here we go. Push your hips back, bend both elbows, row, stomp into the ground and restack your shoulders over your hips. There's 1, hinge, row, and that's 2. Pull your shoulder blades together every rep and make sure that you keep your shoulders away from your ears, okay? We've got 4 more. Every time you stand up, can you really push your foot into the ground and use that feedback all the way up your body? The harder you push down, the harder you'll stand up, or the better you'll stand up. All right, so we're not gonna do the other side yet. Keep your right foot back, go down on the floor in a half kneeling position. Back to our double grip with the YBell. And we have a halo, and then we're gonna stand. So it looks like this. Take the YBell at your sternum, take it over to the right, behind your head, and you can see it's a nice chest opener here, lots of shoulder mobility, around to the other ear and back down. And then I reverse it. Take it to the left, behind me, back down. Then I've got some balance here. So instead of pushing my chest and knee forward, I'm gonna stand up and either tap my right foot or lift my right knee. Then I've got one more element in this exercise, and it's drive the car. Drive, drive. I can either tap my foot or step back into my half kneeling position. Now you don't want to go flying down there, so part of that is it's a controlled crash on the way down. All right, this is a tough one. This is one of the sneaky hard ones. So get really tall, 2 halos. So trace around to the right, come back to your sternum. Trace around to your left, keep your spine nice and long. Stomp into the ground with your left foot. Either tap the right or stair step, drive the car, just for a little shoulder oomph. Step back in a lunge and control back down. All right, we've got 7 more reps. And I'm eating my hair. I'm trying to get my hair out of my face as I do my halo. Tap or float. Oops. Drive the car. Step back and lunge. Halo, halo. This is again kind of like the tail wanting to wag the dog. Don't let it happen. Now maybe you come right up. I keep wanting to do halos. Maybe you come right up into your drive the car and right up into your stair step instead of tapping your foot this time. We have 4 more, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so instead of tapping, come right up. Look at that, I did it right. Reverse lunge, controlled crash. Stay tall. 2 halos. 3 more. Stand up, tap or float, drive the car. So it's just a balance challenge, and it's good for your shoulder health. 2 more. Stomp into the ground, stay tall. The further away from you drive the car, the harder it is, right? So you've got lots of options here to make this as challenging as you need. Last one. All right, pull it back in. You can stay standing. Grab the top grip with your left hand. Here's what this looks like. It's a squat, and we're going from a single grip or a top grip to a double grip. So you get to kind of swing and biceps curl the YBell. Don't look down at it, or it's gonna end up in your nose. So I squat just like this. There's a lot going on in that. It's a squat to a double grip, step, pivot, push it out, just like a medicine ball. Pull it back in, and then step back into my squatting position. All right? We're gonna break up the first rep, just squat, and go to a double grip. Do that with me. Squat, double grip. All right, now we'll start our next rep we'll add the step. Squat down, come on up, double grip, step to your right, pivot your left foot, stay tall. Push the YBell, pull it, face the camera or your computer or whatever you're looking at, and step back in and reset. Now, the more confident we get, the more fluid we can be. Squat down, double grip, step, pivot, push, pull, reset. Squat down, double grip, step, pivot, push, pull, stay tall, reset. We've got 5 more. Stay tall through your spine as you squat and as you push. You notice when the YBell goes out away from your body, right here, it's a lot harder, so it's a lot of core work. All right, couple more. Sometimes when I talk, I lose count. Whatever, it's all good for you. I'm gonna call that 8. I don't really care if it is or isn't. All right, now, that was only 4 exercises. Before we do our 5th, we're gonna repeat the first 4 and then finish with a fun core exercise. So back down on the floor for your tall kneeling figure 8s. So we are back to our double grip. Get tall, ears to your knees. I want to be able to trace a straight line. Grab the YBell hard. Now, figure 8s can be as big or small as you want, all right? 8 of these, don't let the tail wag the dog. Maybe you reverse the direction. Sometimes I tell myself not to do the hula, because I feel like in this one I want to get a little momentum from my hips and do the hula. That's 3. I'm going to do a better job counting this time. 4. The further away from you hold it, the harder it is. So you can always pull it in. 5. And do your figure 8s here. All right, listen to your body. 6, that's always a good thing. 7. Uno más. 8. Okay, stand up using that same good posture we already did the last round. Look at that, lunging to stand up. Now we have our offset stance row with our hip hinge. So this time we'll start with the left hand on the center grip, so that's right in the middle. Stand with your feet on train tracks, take your right foot forward, and you're on the ball of the left foot. Broad chest, make a fist with your right hand. Squeeze the YBell as hard as you can. Do you feel that underneath your armpits? Here we go. Hinge your hips, push your hips back. Keep your chest broad. Bend both elbows, pull the YBell towards the bottom of your rib cage. Lower it down, stomp into the floor and stack your shoulders over your hips. All right, 7 more just like that. Hinge, pinch your shoulder blades together, lower it, stomp to stand. So you get kind of a 2-for-1 on this one. You get a hip hinge and you get a back row, so the back side of your body is working really hard right now. 4 more. Restack your shoulders every time and then carry that good posture all the way through the hinge. And you're maybe wondering why I'm using my right arm as well. It just gives me some balance and some symmetry. 1 more, I think. Okay. Down on the floor, step your left foot back, tall, half kneeling position here. So this is our 2 halos, and then we'll stand and either tap your left foot or float your left knee, all right? So as a reminder, halo is for some shoulder mobility, some thoracic mobility, and we want to stay really quiet in our center, all right? So this time we'll start to the left. Way back and around. See if you can drop the YBell behind you, back to your sternum. Reverse it. Now, stomp into the ground. Keep your core really active, like you're bracing and not letting anyone move you. Stand up, tap, or stair step. Drive the car, way out in front maybe this time. Pull it back in, controlled crash on the way down. Here we go. 2 halos. Get tall, breathe. Nice and strong, stand up, tap or float right away. And you can do your drive the car wherever you want, here or here. Reverse lunge, nice and easy down. 6 more. So we are in a lunge position right here, kind of practicing what our lunge position is for when we stand up. All right, so that half kneeling position is pretty important for body awareness and to teach us what this lunge should feel like on the way up and the way down. This is 4. Notice your right hip has to work really hard right now, right glutes in particular, to keep you stable. So it's really good hip stability as well as strength. Stand up, drive the car. 2 more. Tap or float. I don't know where we're driving, but I hope it's somewhere tropical and lush. That's where I'm envisioning right now. Last one, pulling up to the beach. You can stay standing, place your foot down. All right, here is our squat with our grip change, or a single grip to a double grip, really. Okay, so I'm going from this top grip in my squat, so I'll show you what a rep looks like first, just to remind you. Biceps curl up and grab it with the other hand. Then we'll step to our left, pivot your right foot, make sure you release your heel. Push, pull, be sure not to round your back as you push, and you'll save your spine. And then you unwind and come back in. All right, so here we go. We'll go right into the first rep. Stand tall, feet on train tracks, about hip to shoulder width. Squat down. Now, grab it with your left hand, step to your left, pivot your right foot, push, pull, unwind. All right, here we go. Squat, grip change, pivot, push, pull. Unwind. It's not actually a grip change. It's just adding a grip. How about that? There are things with the YBell that we call grip change, and that's not it. All right, 4 more. Now, see if you can smooth it out a little bit. So squat, double grip, step, push, pull, unwind. So it's a little more fluid. 3 more. Squat, double grip, step, pivot, push, pull. 2 more. Last one. Okay. How are you doing? Pretty good? All right. We have 1 exercise left. This is the end of the round, and this one's kind of sneaky hard too. So this is a modified side plank, but we're going to use the YBell center grip and work some shoulder stability, and it'll really light up our core. So the harder you grip the YBell, or sometimes we say crush the bell, the harder you do that, the more you'll feel it travel down your whole body. So I'm going to start with the YBell in my right hand, down on the floor. Keep your left knee down. I'll show you what it looks like first. Now, there's a lot going on there. So here's what's happening. I'm gripping, I'm pushing the floor away just like we did in our push-up position initially, squeezing both armpits like I'm squeezing oranges. I lift my leg, that's a lot of hip. Keep my spine and pelvis really steady or quiet. Pull my knee in, almost like I'm doing a squat position or a lunge position. Push my heel away and lower. All right? All the while, not letting my right arm move. Okay? Lots going on. This is our last exercise. We have 8 to each side. So this is time to slow down and focus. Okay? Center grip with your right hand. Left knee down, and you're on the ball of your back foot. Keep the YBell right here by your shoulder initially. Side bend to your left. Now push the YBell straight up over your shoulder. Grip the YBell hard, squeeze both armpits. Push into the ground with your left hand. Flex your right ankle. Lift your heel. Woo! Now, without rounding your spine or tucking your pelvis, just pull your thigh like you're sliding it across the table. Push it out. Push your heel like you're pushing into a door and lower down. My right arm doesn't move at all. My left arm doesn't move at all. We have 7 more. Lift. Slowly pull your thigh to you without rounding your body. Push your heel hard like you're pushing into resistance and lower down. So this is firing up our core, and it's kind of realigning us to come back the next time and say, ooh, when I squat or when I lunge, my hips and knees can move, and my spine and pelvis are really pretty and they're not moving. All right, I think we have 4 left. We might have 5 left, but I'm gonna call it 4, you're welcome. 3 left. Slide just like you're sliding along a tabletop. Make sure your chin is off your chest and that you're not looking at your foot. Look straight ahead. Okay, if you want to challenge, you could look up at your YBell. I don't want to end up on the floor, so I'm not. I think we have 1 left. Even if I get the reps wrong, it doesn't matter. Lower your foot, lower the YBell. You can put it all the way down and come back up now. Shake it out. Roll out your wrists. All right, fire up. Last one, center grip, so it's right in the middle of the YBell. Grip it hard, okay? Left hand, left leg out. You're on the ball of your back foot there, okay? Take your right hand slowly down to the ground, side bend. Push your left arm up. Now, I don't want my arm waving in the breeze like a flag. Okay, you gotta be the flag pole on a windy day. The YBell's trying to blow around and you're not gonna let it. Okay, squeeze both armpits, flex your left ankle, lift your left leg. Without moving anything besides your knee and your hip, slide your thigh along a tabletop, and then push your heel and grip the YBell harder. Now I know that was only 1, so I know for sure that's 2. And like I was saying, even if I messed up the reps, you've got 5 good exercises you can repeat as many times as you want, and you can make sure you count better than I do. I'm not the best counter. You don't have to be a good counter to be a trainer. That's 5. Squeeze it harder, push into the ground. Push against the door. We have 2 more. 1 more, everybody. Lower your foot, pull the YBell back down, and place the YBell down on the ground. Oh, way to go. Shake out your grip. You can move your YBell out of the way, We're actually not going to use it for our cool down. You can, there are a lot of great ways to use it, but for this workout, I think that's enough for us today for a beginner workout. So we'll start with tall kneeling, cat and cow. So it looks like this. Thumbs up, open your chest. This is kind of like a cow position. Broad chest, pinch your shoulder blades together. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Make sure that you are not pushing your hips forward or your pelvis forward, that you're not compressing your low back. Take a couple breaths here. So we're opening your chest. May even feel a little stretch in your biceps. And now reach your arms in front of you. Turn your thumbs down. Cross your right arm on top of your left. And as if someone were pulling your fingertips, pull your shoulder blades away from your spine. And you get a nice stretch in the middle of your back to your upper back. So in between your shoulder blades. Lift your chest, open your arms out wide again. Big hug. Somebody's giving me a big hug. I feel it. Breathe for a chest stretch. And then reach forward again. Crisscross the other arm on top, so left arm on top. Thumbs point down. Reach your fingertips forward as if someone were pulling you. And your shoulder blades pull away from your spine. All right, uncross your arms. Stay tall. Step your right foot forward in front of you. You've been here before. Take your right hand to your hip and reach your left arm up. Half kneeling hip flexor stretch. Take a big breath in, reach for the sky. Exhale, lengthen your back hip without pushing it. So just lift up, almost like you're lifting your torso up out of your pelvis. Reach up and over to your right, side bend, so we'll stretch our side. So we did some planking today. We did some pushing in our squat pivot press. We did some rotation in that pivot. We did a squat, obviously. We did a pull with our offset row, and that also involved a hinge. Come on up. And then you can step back before we do the other side. Place your hands down, frame your foot. Lift your back knee, step back to downward facing dog. So both feet side by side, press your hips up to the sky and push all the way through your fingertips. Pull your heels down towards the ground. And you should feel a stretch in your calves and your hamstrings. If your hamstrings are super tight, just soften your knees. Bring your belly toward your thighs and lengthen your chest forward slightly, broad chest. Last thing on this side before we switch sides, pull forward to plank again. Take your right knee towards your right elbow, right ankle towards your left wrist for a pigeon. Now, if you don't like pigeon, if it doesn't work well on your knees, one, you could pull your heel in towards you a little more, or you can flip over on your back and do a figure 4 on your back. We'll just take a couple breaths here. So you did a great job. If you're new to YBell, that was actually a pretty complicated workout. Even though I said beginner, I kind of lied. Those are exercises though with solid foundations. So I encourage you to go back and repeat that workout and try it again and see if you can get a little better every time. You can play with the rep count, you could do it as time-based, but the important part is you kind of nail all of those positions and have fun playing around with the different grips. Okay, step back to a plank, and you can step your left foot in between your hands for a runner's lunge. Lower your right knee down, lift your chest. Half kneeling hip flexor stretch. Reach your right arm up this time to the sky. Take a breath in, lengthen your right hip. So what I'm trying to do is, again, not push my hip, but lift up out of my hip. Left hand on your hip, up and over, side bend to your left this time. Take one more breath. Come on up. Plant your palms, frame your foot, step back into a downward facing dog. We'll get another breath or two here to stretch your calves and hamstrings. You may even want to pedal through your feet this time, pulling one heel down and then the other. And then we'll finish with our pigeon. All right, so you can spend as much time as you want on your figure four, on your back if that's what you're doing, or in your pigeon. And I'm gonna leave you here to kind of relax and spend a little extra time on the ground. And just start to slow down your breathing, being aware of how the breath feels moving in and out through your nostrils. And allow your body to just start to calm down and settle. That is just as important as all the hard work that you did today. All right, so it's not just about the workout, it's about how you finish your workout. And really, the better you feel when you finish, the more likely you are to come back and do it again. So I hope you enjoyed this full body beginner YBell workout. And again, my name is Kari. I hope to see you all on another workout. Go chase the burn.